There's different versions with different vehicles, but for my 2002 Sportivo, this is how it's been. I tried at first for the rear bank oxygen sensor, and the reason I felt to do that is because you can't. It's my opinion, even looking at it now, with the plenum off, it's your chance to get to this rear oxygen sensor. And I would say if I had another Camry, I'd be looking at changing these every 200,000 Ks. I figure that every 100,000 Ks, for one reason or another, you have that plenum off for your spark plugs at the rear. And yeah, I wouldn't go past 200,000 Ks without changing this rear oxygen sensor. Now, this was the plug I took out. I have never seen a plug that bad, and that's after 114,000 Ks, and it was a good one. It was the ones you put at the rear, like proper Denso, what is that, IK20TT iridium. And so what I've realized is that this must have been running too rich. Too lean, sorry, it's too lean. And the leaner, when it runs lean, it runs hotter, and I did have a heat problem. And I was surprised that still ran with that big a gap. So I got a new plug going in, which is double iridium. All it says on here is Bosch R6, double iridium. Okay, so my opinion is that it must be the oxygen sensor, but I wasn't getting any warning coming up on my inside dash. But I'm pretty sure that running lean has to do with the rear bank oxygen sensor. And I know it's overdue for time to change it anyway, even if my suspicion is wrong. And regarding this set, I pulled a 22 off this set, and when you go to do it, you get about that far, and the metal shield, the heat shield at the back, which is similar to the front heat shield above the oil filter, and the one at the back is similar, that blocks it from sinking down, so that was useless. Of course, it's 22. Actually, this whole set, I feel, is one of my poorest value for money purchases. I've never really had a moment where I've thought, oh, gee, I'm glad I bought that. So there you go. But on this, I just got one of these oxygen sensor kits. Thank you to a man named Brian who gave me a good price on that. Thank you. I used this one, which is 31 mil. So, I mean, you can see the benefit from using something like that. This of course gives you that extra drop that you need to do the job. And from there to there is 31. There is a longer one. There's a longer one there, and that one's got that you don't have the room to use something that long. I'll just tell you that now. At the back where it is, you do not have the room to use something that long. You'd either need one like that's 31, and I think I still did have the room to use that, but this did the job, which was 31 millimeter from there to there, 22 millimeter oxygen sensor. Yeah, there you go. And so yeah, I'm changing out. I'm putting the new oxygen sensor in. And I've measured it, compared it. It's all the same, except it's just about that much longer in its cord length, which is fine. Where it is at is right between 3 and 5, straight down. And here's the cable off of it, and there's your attaching. The female end, I guess you'd call it, and you have to push that tab quite hard. I mean, really hard. You got to really put a firm press on that to get it to release, and be pulling on the bottom bit at the same time. And also, it has that connector stuck into that metal bracket down there. You can just see that metal bracket with the hole. Yeah, down there. So that's kind of annoying to get out. What I did was I used a gauge. Sorry, please excuse me, but I just used a scissor type tool to squeeze in that section to get those pieces on each side to drop down so I could pull it out. And I've also got this wiring harness undone, and that was handy because my finger room was very limited reaching back there. But you've got to press through that feeling of, oh, I can't do it. But if you just persevere and you press through that, you find you can do it. And so right between the 3 and the 5, straight down, and quite deep at the back is where the oxygen sensor is. And those 2 cables you can see, where you see my finger, at about the same level of those 2 cables, near the engine block, that's where you'll find the oxygen sensor. And the other thing that I want to say is that the oxygen sensor isn't straight. When I looked down at it, it was just very slightly bent to the right. So when you put it back in, just remember that it's not really straight